Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ari Page, and today we're talking about buying real estate with business credit. So Eddie is one of my clients and also one of my good friends, and we've been documenting his journey in purchasing real estate using business credit. Now, over the last year or two, Eddie's been using business credit in order to expand his portfolio and his offerings and to be able to get better properties and to be able to rehab the properties easier. So today we're gonna go in and document another one of his properties that he's flipping, and we're gonna get the whole rundown from Eddie of how he's used business credit and how he's doing it in today's world, post-COVID, post-inflation, with everything going on today, how he's using this funding to be able to maximize his profit. So Eddie, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to look over your new property. Wow, so Eddie, it really looks nice in here. It looks like a lot of work has gotten done since we first came and take a look at it.
Yeah, there was a lot of projects going on, a lot of decisions to make. I didn't realize how far I wanted to go with it until I actually started inspecting the place, and it just went from one week to the next, and I was like, I gotta fix this, and then this has to look perfect, and this, and you know.
Before we walk through the whole thing, just give us a breakdown of how much you bought it for and how much you're planning on selling it for and the after repair value.
So after closing costs and everything, it was about $231,000. I spent about $28,000 in renovations.
So and what are you hoping to sell it for?
It's currently listed at $350,000.
$350,000. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so Eddie, it looks like you guys have done an amazing job here in the kitchen. And as we all know, that kitchens can really sell at home. But take just a moment to tell us what all got changed in this room.
Well, originally I was going to try to keep all the cabinets and the backsplash that was already there, but some of the cabinets were falling apart. They were dirty, they looked used. So I decided to just replace everything. I used level 1 granite this time because this was kind of a stringent project. I replaced all the backsplash, new plumbing, new cabinets, used and new appliances. And then this was just a bare piece of wall, which normally I would knock this down, but I didn't want to replace the floor on this project, and you would have to because there would be no way to replace the tile. So what I did was I just added these pieces of granite on just for looks and to be able to put decorative items on.
I think this room really came together well. But let me ask, in past videos you mentioned creating a competitive selling advantage where in a property that is really not like the best deal. Like I remember you mentioned to me that this property wasn't actually the best deal, but you created your own advantage. What was the advantage that you created in this property?
Good question, Ari. So there was a couple disadvantages to this house. So the single car garage instead of being 2-car garage, that is a big disadvantage for some families. The pool out there doesn't have a cage. A lot of people get scared about that. I think I paid a little too high, so I had to get creative and come up with a way to make this place more desirable or more fitting for families that are looking for a certain home. So I added a 4th bedroom over there within the current square footage. I think that's what put me at that $350,000 bracket.
So adding the 4th bedroom created a more competitive advantage for this price or for this house for the price that you were trying to get from it.
Correct.
And you could have sold it for less, but adding the 4th bedroom just netted you how much extra?
I would say it added another $30,000 to $40,000 because there might be a family that loves this house, but it only has 3 bedrooms and they need a 4th, whether it's for office space or for an extra kid or for family members. A lot of people were moving from up north and they have family members that frequently come and visit and they have nowhere for them to stay.
And when you added that room, so that took some rehabbing, that took some electrical, were you able to use business credit to do that?
I did. Yeah, I used a lot of business credit for this house, and it really helped me because I have other projects going on and I would have ran out of my own cash. So it really gave me an advantage. This was all rocks. It looked like the outside of a house. This wall was not here. So I decided to section it off, put a door, put a frame. We had to actually move the vent. We had to build this closet from scratch. We had to put electric on this wall over here. We replaced all the lights actually throughout the whole house because the other ones were very dim and older looking. They were outdated.
So then you left the rock up in one area, it looks like, just to create an accent wall. And I kind of like that look. I mean, this is the older look, but having it with the wine rack kind of makes it look more modern again somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, $40 on Amazon, and I stopped at a liquor store, and there you go.
Yeah,
so
I like it.
This had to grow on me. I didn't know what to do with it at first. But I was going to cut this off. It's going to be really hard to take the rocks off. I was going to actually sheetrock just the way I did over there, but then I had a dilemma here. I had to move this whole door frame. This is a pocket door. It just got too confusing. So I was like, you know what? It's going to grow on the person. This is sort of like the pool guest room. People come in here, they get changed to go in the pool, they grab some wine, make some drinks, bada bing, bada boom.
So real quick, I just wanted to talk to our viewers about what happens when you're trying to put on a roof and the roofing company doesn't accept credit card, or if you're working with a plumbing company and they don't accept credit card, or whatever the different vendor is. And there's a variety of different services that Fund&Grow teaches their clients about to be able to get the cash off the card or to be able to purchase something from a vendor that does not accept credit card. So for example, if you're trying to rehab a new property and you need to put a new roof on the property and they don't accept credit card, well, there's actually vendors that you can go to where you swipe your credit card with the vendor and they send a check to the roofing company, or they send a wire transfer to the roofing company. And you can only pay legitimate companies with this service, but this way, regardless of any company, even if it's employees that you need to pay payroll to, you can do it using your business credit card. I know that sometimes you have people that are using personal credit cards. Eddie, do you ever use your personal credit cards for any of these purchases?
Years and years ago I did, but it was frustrating because I had to really be on top of not going over the 35%, and then my credit score dropping, and then the interest as well. 2, 3, 5, 6% interest. So I'm paying extra with those cards, and I'm having to worry about them dropping my credit score because I went over 35%. Like, what's the point of having a $20,000 credit card and you can only use $5 or $6 grand without being penalized?
Right. That 35% ratio is really important to remember, folks. That's why using business credit or business credit cards that do not appear on your personal credit report, so you don't have to worry about the 35% ratio. That's why that's absolutely paramount. It's huge. Wow, this is beautiful, man. I love the pool. Now, could you tell us a little bit about why a pool was a good choice for this rehab?
It added a lot of value to it. There's a limited amount of houses on the market, a limited amount of inventory with pools. I've never been scared of pools. I've bought them. They look like black lagoons, and there was chairs in them. Never know if they work or some of them, the equipment works. I just always look at it like an asset to the house, and it's always worked out.
Oh yeah, you have a family that looks at this pool and then looks at this patio area with the fire pit. That's a done deal. You know, you got many evenings of hanging out with the family here, and the kids playing in the pool. You know, when it comes to families moving into the Florida area, definitely, you know, this is going to be a huge selling point. With the business credit and the credit cards, the credit cards come with a 0% introductory period. Talk for a minute about how the 0% is either helped or if it wasn't that big of a deal.
I've never had credit cards with a 0% interest. So it's like borrowing money from a friend and then just paying them back exactly what you borrowed. So you don't feel like you're in a rush, or you don't feel like you're losing. You know, not even thinking about the cash back rewards. You're actually making money if you think about it.
Yeah,
it's been so advantageous for me in my projects. It gives me that hedge above, and I don't hesitate to buy more expensive stuff because you're not getting a VIG tacked on, you're not getting a percentage tacked on. So I enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah, and a lot of investors are thinking from the perspective of a mortgage or a hard money loan, where the cost of the money is so expensive, like a mortgage where it's compounded annually, and just the overall cost of that. So when you look at business credit cards and how it's a simple interest and the way that it's compounded, and so when it's paid off, you're not paying anything. You have access to your loan that you could use once it's paid off, and then you could use the account. It doesn't show up on your personal credit. You're able to use the account at 0%, and then Fund&Grow continues to flip them for you and keep them at 0%.
It reminds me, like I use this example with people. I've never had a mortgage in my life. I've always been 100% cash positive. But with a mortgage, you got PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance. And if you have a house that you purchased for $220,000, and you got a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, I mean, by the time you actually pay it off after that 30 years, you pretty much paid $500,000.
Yes.
You know, how much goes towards your equity every month? Probably a few $100s.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think in terms of that, I like to pay things off. It doesn't feel good to owe and to be taxed on top of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Mortgages are a huge scam.
Yeah,
Yep.
they are.
So from the curb appeal to all the way to the backyard, this house is absolutely beautiful. I think you did an amazing job with it, and adding in the 4th bedroom really gave you that extra advantage, that competitive advantage for selling.
Thanks.
So I think you did a great job on this property,
bro.
man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.